Are you giving your workouts everything you've got, but feeling like you're hitting a wall? Let's talk about a muscle group that often gets overlooked, the hip flexors. Hidden beneath the surface, these warriors of the body play a pivotal role in our overall fitness and athletic performance. They are the engine that powers our stride, the spring in our jump, and the force behind our kicks. But, like any unsung hero, they can be neglected and forgotten. Imagine a powerful car without a well-oiled engine. That's your body with weak or tight hip flexors. You might experience lower back pain, struggle with maintaining good posture, or notice a decrease in your athletic performance. It's like running a race with your shoelaces tied together. So if you're constantly battling with these issues, it might not be your technique or lack of effort. Instead, if any of these symptoms sound familiar, it might be time to give your hip flexors some attention. Consider the story of Joe, an athlete who felt stuck in his fitness journey. He was a dedicated sportsman, a beacon of determination, pouring sweat and hours into his training. Despite his relentless efforts, he found himself plateauing. His performance was stalling, his strength not improving. It was like he was running against a wall that seemed insurmountable. One day, Joe stumbled upon the concept of hip flexor training. It was a muscle group he had often overlooked, a hidden secret within the body's powerhouse. Intrigued, he decided to incorporate specific hip flexor exercises into his routine. He started with simple movements, gradually increasing the intensity. It was challenging, even for a seasoned athlete like Joe, but he was not deterred. Soon, Joe began to notice changes. His strength started to increase, not just in his hips, but throughout his entire body. He felt more powerful, more dynamic in his movements. His posture improved, his back straighter, his strides longer. He felt a newfound energy coursing through his veins. But the true test was his athletic performance. And oh, how it soared. Joe was running faster, jumping higher, lasting longer in his games. He was breaking through his previous limits, surpassing his own expectations. His teammates noticed, his coaches noticed, but most importantly, Joe noticed. He felt revitalized, his passion for fitness reignited. This wasn't a magic pill or a quick fix. It was the result of focusing on a crucial yet often ignored muscle group. Joe's discovery of hip flexor training was a game changer, a revelation that propelled him to new heights in his fitness journey. From Joe's story, we can see that focusing on hip flexor training can open up new levels of fitness achievement. It's not just about the big muscles or the showy exercises. Sometimes, the key to breaking through your fitness plateau lies in the hidden corners of your training routine. And for Joe, that key was the power of the hip flexors. So how can you start giving your hip flexors the attention they deserve? Let's dive into some simple yet effective exercises. First up, we have standing marches. These are great for activating your hip flexors. Stand tall, march in place, and lift your knees as high as possible. Ensure your core is engaged and your posture is upright. Next, we have the butterfly stretch. This is an excellent way to increase your hip flexor flexibility. Sit on the floor, bring your feet together, and let your knees fall out to the sides. Keep your back straight and gently press your knees down with your elbows. Lastly, lunges are a stellar compound exercise that targets your hip flexors along with other major muscle groups. Step forward with one foot, bending both knees at a 90-degree angle, then push back to the starting position. Remember, each of these exercises can be modified to fit your fitness level. Remember, it's not about adding more to your workout, but about targeting the right muscles. So why does hip flexor training matter so much? Well, let's sum it all up. Training your hip flexors isn't just about the isolated muscles in your hips, it's about the chain reaction. It's about the ripple effect that resonates throughout your entire body. It's about enhancing your overall performance and reducing the risk of injuries. Remember, the hip flexors are pivotal for almost all athletic movements. They're the powerhouse that propels you forward, the engine that drives your kicks and sprints, the anchor that stabilizes your core. By strengthening your hip flexors, you're essentially turbocharging that engine, fortifying that anchor. And it's not just for athletes. For anyone looking to improve their fitness, hip flexor training can make a world of difference. It can help you improve your posture, alleviate lower back pain, and even enhance your everyday activities, from walking upstairs to picking up your child. By paying attention to your hip flexors, you're not just improving a single muscle group, you're enhancing your whole fitness journey.